Hi everyone, and welcome to the Tag Tuesday video for this week. And this one's a bit different, but I've been playing with different things in that and trying out some new ideas, and I came up with this idea. Now, it is a tag and you can journal on it, but it actually opens up, and on the inside you've got little pockets, and each pocket has its own little tag. So you've got 4 tags in there, which is great, which I love. So it's so sweet, and it's very simple to make, and it just makes this lovely little accordion tag, and then you can tie it and pop it into a pocket, and then you've got 4 little hidden tags inside one tag. And as you can see, it's not very thick, so it's not going to be a problem popping it into a pocket. So that's what we're making today. So let's get started. So I'm just starting with some scrapbooking paper, some scrapbooking card. Now this is 12 by 12s, so these are some strips that I had left over off a project that I was doing, and I just thought, well, I don't want to waste them. They're a really great size for tags. So I haven't actually sized them. They're about 7 centimeters, but you can cut them to whatever width you want. You could do a nice wide one if you wanted to, or you could even do some slimmer ones. It's up to you. The size of them is up to you, but I would suggest to get a tag this size, you need it to be 12 centimeters, no, 12 inches long. So that would be, you know, one strip of a 12 by 12. And I've got this lovely one, and I'm going to, before I start though, it's beautiful and it's got this lace effect, but it's a little bit white, and I'm not that keen on the white. So I'm just going to dull that down just a little bit, and I'm not going to be uniform about it, because I think that it doesn't need to have a uniform effect. I just want to dull that white down just a little bit, and I'm just using the Vintage Photo and a blending brush, and just pop some ink over it. I mean, I'm going to decorate it as well, which will hide some of it, but I don't want the decorations to look out of place on a pristine white piece of card. So I just want to kind of just give it a little bit of a glint. There we go, there we are. Right, so first step is you take your card once you've cut the width that you want, and again, like I said, the width's up to you, and you just want to fold it in half, and it literally is as simple as that. Just give it a good fold, make sure you crease that well, and there's your basic tag. That's basically what you need. So to make the insides, I am using some it's greaseproof paper or cooking parchment, but you could use tissue paper if you wanted to, like tracing paper I should say. You want something that's quite thin, but it's, you know, strong enough that it's not going to tear, and this stuff's pretty good. So I use this for a lot of different things. I've even coffee dyed this before, and it comes out looking great. If you watched a couple of videos ago, I did some envelopes made out of this, and they were coffee dyed, and it looks great. But for this, I'm not even bothering with the coffee dye. And all I've done is I've made a tube. So I measured the width of the tag, which came out at 7 centimeters, and I made the tube to be just slightly smaller than the tag. And it literally is just tear off a piece of paper the right size, and then you just fold it over, and you've got a nice tube. Simple as that. You need 2 of those tubes. So I was going to show you me tearing them off, but to be fair, you know how to tear off a bit of paper and to make it into a tube. So the next step is we need to get some glue on. Now I'm using tacky glue. This is a waxed paper, so you couldn't use a Pritt stick on it. I've tried, and the Pritt stick holds it at first, but then it comes apart and it doesn't really hold it. This stuff, the high tack glue, it does, and I think Fabri-Tac would be fine as well, and probably art glitter glue. So I'm just going to run a little bead of glue all the way down, just to glue the tube together. That's it. And just spread that glue out. If you spread it out, it stops the edges from curling. Just because this stuff, you know, it can be a bit tricky when you're crafting with it. And like I said, you need to spread the glue out, and it just catches the edges and stops them from curling up. Right, we'll do the same with this. Just spread the glue out. Spread it towards the outside edge, because you don't want to glue your tube together, obviously. Right, now we've got our 2 tubes. Now we need to cut these to size. So first of all, put them together, and I'm going to fold them in half. Now this is, I've just roughly cut the edges, so don't worry about that. But when you're folding them, try and get them all in line, because that's important. So otherwise you're going to have them peeking out. So you need to make sure that they're all lined up. You don't want them peeking out the side of your tag. Give them a good crease. Now I'll offer them up to the tag and see where we're at. So because I want to put this tag, where did I put my example? Obviously you want to punch a hole through, and you want to put you want the tubes to be lower than that. So I would suggest that you put them just slightly lower than where your shoulders of your tag are going to go. So I'm going to cut them probably, I want the shoulders to be about there, so I'm going to cut the tubes at about there. So I'm just going to get my pencil, put a little mark on. Now you could get your guillotine out and cut them like that, but I'm literally going to use a pair of scissors, and because this is quite thin, it should all cut quite well. I'm going to do it this way actually, and you just want to go straight across the top. And the reason I'm cutting through all the layers together, I want them to be quite even. It looks better if they're all even. So you see there where it's just shifted slightly. I'm just going to trim that up just a little. That's it. Perfect. Now the next step, you can do a decorative edge on the top of that. I did try it. My decorative edge punch just wouldn't go through the paper without tearing and pulling bits off. But if you're going to use a different kind of paper that you know that your edge punch will work with, then by all means give it a decorative edge, because it looks quite nice like that. So next step is we need to glue them together. So you've got one inside of the other. Yeah. So we're going to run a bead of glue. You only want the glue to go down the centre. That way it's going to open up like an accordion. So just put the glue down the centre. I'm going to run a couple of lines of that because I want it to hold well. And then we're going to pop these together. And you've got a little bit of grace with this glue, you know, you can move things about just a little bit before it sticks really solid. Just make sure we've got everything where we want it, and then give that a good press. Now the next step, it's quite a simple one, this one, is to run a bead of glue down the middle of the back. So this is your cut edge side. You want that to be at the top of the tag. So we're going to pop that there like that, position it, and then I'm just going to fold the tag shut. Check on my position, it's just shifted slightly. Try and pull that over just a little. That's it. Right, now let's close the tag again. There we go. There we are. And the last bit, one more bead of glue down the middle. There we go. And then just close your tag. Give everything a good press down. And there you have, oh sorry, there is one last bit. Sorry, I forgot the middle bit. Yes, glue the middle together. That's your last bit. I was thinking there, that didn't work. No, yeah, you need to glue the centre to be together. Bear with me, I do know what I'm doing. And then that's it, you've got your little accordion. Just wipe off, if you've got a little bit of extra glue sticking out, just wipe that off. Simple. There we go. And there you've already made your accordion. And now I've already pre-cut a couple of these other pieces. They're smaller than the tag, smaller than the tubes. So let's just check to make sure that they're going to fit. Yep, they're going to fit. And I'm just going to make a mark on how tall we want them. So I'm going to have them just poking out the top of the tube. So let's say about there. Now we've got 4 little pockets, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want 4 little tags. And I'm just, again, I'm just going to hand cut these. You could use your cutter if you wanted to, if you want to be very precise. And I'll just use that as a template. And there's 2. And then I've got this one as well. And you can make these inside tags the same card as the main tag if you wanted to. I did with the last one, but I kind of wanted to try having some different patterns in there with this one. Just give that a proper trim. And then obviously you just want to cut your corners. And then what I would suggest, instead of cutting all of the tags separately, is to use one tag as your template for the others. And that way all your shoulders are going to match. And when it's when you open it up, you're going to have like a uniformity in the tags that are in there. Because it's one thing to use a different paper, but it's another thing to have different shaped tags. Although I suppose you don't have to put tags in there. You could have little bits of ephemera in there. You could have some I don't know, you could have some pieces of coffee dyed paper. You could pop them in there. The possibilities are endless. Right, so we've got our tags cut. Let's get rid of all these bits of card. And then oh, there's the birds on the roof again. Okay, what I'll do now is I'm going to use these shoulders on the main tag, because again that's going to give me that nice little consistency, and it's all going to match up, and subconsciously it makes a big difference. I don't know how and I don't know why, but subconsciously it does. So let's just get that cut. There we are. Perfect. Now let's do some distressing. And again, I'm using the Vintage Photo. I'm just going to distress all the way around. You can distress on the inside. The reason I didn't with this is because it's quite a dark paper on the inside, so I didn't feel that it needed the distressing on the inside. But if you're using like a lighter paper, then I would distress it before you put the tag together, because it'll be easier than trying to do it with the tubes in, with the insides in. So otherwise you're going to have to try and work around, and it's just going to be awkward. And I'm just going to run, I'm not going to try and distress it, I'm just running the sponge just across the top very gently, and it's just giving a little tiny bit of ink to the top. It's not loads, it's just enough. And I might do the same on the sides, just a little tiny bit, just to take away some of that whiteness again. It's not leaving loads, but it's enough. There we go, it's just a hint of age. And oh, sorry, I forgot to do these. Okay, I'll just give these a quick ink, and then we can get on to decorating. And I wanted to give this a bit of a theme, so I've got some nice little pictures that I cut out of a bird book, and they made lovely little vintage pictures, and I'm gonna give it a kind of a bird theme. because I haven't done birds for a long time. So I think it needs birds. This doesn't need a lot, it's dark. Just take off those edges. There we go. Yeah, I feel like I've been doing a lot of insects and flowers just lately. I don't fit, and photographs, but I don't think I've done any birds really for a while. So I thought, why not do some birds? You've got lovely bird ephemera. Why not use it up? Right, okay, so to decorating. Now I think I'll do these first, because I'm going to do these very, very simply. And all I want is, I've got some vintage, this is handwrite, it's out of a handwrite, no, shorthand book. So I'm just going to get little scraps of this, and that's going to go onto the tags. Now I don't need a lot, it just needs to be a bit on each one. And I'm going to vary where I put it. It's a lovely old vintage shorthand book. I just love the pages. I did try learning shorthand once and gave up pretty quickly. yeah, that didn't work out, and I'll keep that piece for there. Right, now I'll show you the actual birds that I've got. Now these were in a lovely bird book, and I'll just cut them out, and aren't they gorgeous little vintage images? I mean, they're so beautiful. So I think I'm just gonna perfect. I don't want to do too much decorating on the inside tags, because again I don't think they need it. I'm just going to give them a little bit of an ink. I'm just going to use the residual ink because I don't think they need too much aging. They've already got that nice vintage look about them. I just really want to define the edges. And I will back these tags with some coffee dyed paper, so that you can write on the back of them. And then that way you've got 4 nice little journaling spots. You could, if you wanted to, make these out of a plain card, or you could make them out of any kind of card, and then do them front and back with coffee dyed paper, and then you've got loads of journaling space within this one little tag, because you'll have journaling space front and back on 4 tags. That's 8 sides of journaling space. And if you backed this one on the back with coffee dyed paper, that's 9 journaling spots on one tag. So it's really great way of having lots of journaling space without taking up much room in your junk journal. I think we need a little tiny bit of ink actually. And again, I quite like having like little secret spots to journal into. Right, let's just get some stuff glued on then. I'm not going to worry too much about the placement of everything. Where's the lid off this glue? I'm just going to get on and do it, because I think it's that kind of decoration where it's going to look cute whichever way you put it. And these are such gorgeous little pictures. I've been dying to use them on something. They're just so nice. I've just come back from Hobbycraft. My husband needed something through one of the shops near Hobbycraft. I wasn't intentionally going, but I thought, well, while I'm there, the queue outside was quite long, but it was moving quickly, and they had like the little station for the hand gel, and there's only 25 people I think allowed in the shop at a time. So it felt pretty good to go in, because I have been avoiding most shops, so I wasn't that bothered about going in. I felt safe to go and shop, and it was nice to get back into Hobbycraft. And I bought myself some more paper, of course, some more scrapbook paper, and some some more nice paper flowers, because you know you need plenty of paper flowers. I'll show you in a moment. I'll get them out and show you. So I've just, oh, I didn't ink that one. I know you were probably screaming at me I forgot to ink it. I need a new glue page. There we go. Right, let's get some more glue on. Or maybe I didn't, I inked it on the other side, I don't know. Pop that one above. There we go. But yeah, it was nice to get back in, and I was looking for some Tim Holtz papers, but they only had the one in there. I can't remember the name of it now. I don't know if it's called Correspondence. It wasn't the one that I wanted anyway, so I just left it. But then I found this other paper pad, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There we go. So that's them four sorted. I'm not going to put toppers on them, because anything you put on them is going to add bulk, and then they're not going to sit right in the tag. So we'll pop them aside, and then we'll get decorating on the tag itself. And I'm literally just going to, where did I put those pictures? I want to pick a couple of nice ones, because I want to put 2 on the front. So let's see what we've got. These all seem to be kind of water bird type things. Let's see. That's not so bad. I mean, we could put them 2 on. I like that. Yeah, that's good. I like them. And then I've got a little label and some flowers that I'm going to pop on as well. Right. So let's get a little bit of ink on these ones. I was a really lucky find. The book, I found it in a charity shop, and it was I don't know if it was the Book of British Birds or the book of, just the Book of Birds. I can't remember now, but it was, it's such a lovely book, and I got tons and tons of pictures out of it. Because often these books, you know, they've either got photographs, which don't work as well, or the pictures are just simple drawings, which you can use for some things, but I don't know, I just don't think they work as well. But this one was absolutely gorgeous, and I was so pleased to finally find one. I'm going to pop that way, I think. And then that one can kind of go that way. Maybe I might pop it underneath that one. There's nothing up in that top corner on this one, so pop it like that. Put a little bit more glue on there. There we go. It looks like that one's looking up at them too, doesn't it? Right, I've just got one of these. These are the Tracy Fox sciencey type labels, and it's just like a little, you know, just like a little sample label. So I'm just going to pop that on as well. Pull that down just a touch, and then I've got this lovely Tim Holtz flower that I want to just pop up the side like that. So again, let's just go a little bit of ink on. It doesn't need loads. I'm going to take a chance and use the glue stick. It is card, but hopefully the glue stick should hold it. Now is that gonna, I think if I bring it down just a little bit, I don't want it covering that bird's beak up. And there we go, that looks great. I'm liking that. Right, last thing to do is I need to pop a hole something on there, and I'm just going to go through the top, simple as. And then I've got some of these, and I'm sure I did have some already. I do. I've just run the distressing ink over the top of these, and it just gives them a nice aged look. It's a good way of getting that aged look, and I'll just pop those on. There we go. They don't have to be like, you know, they just need to look a little bit aged to go with the overall look of the tag. I kind of like the effect of them as well. They just give it a finished look, I think. There we go. And then we can pop our 4 tags in. This seems pretty dry now, so I'm quite happy to put the tags in. 1, and I'm going to alternate them. 2, and done. 3 and 4. And then the final bit is to put a little bit of ribbon on, and I've got this nice antique gold ribbon which is just gorgeous, so we'll get that on. And all I'm going to do is literally pop it through like I would on a normal tag and just pull it through the loop, and then that just looks like a normal tag, and you can pop it into a pocket. It's not very thick, as you can see, it's quite thin still. You could put some coffee dye paper on the back, and that would be Journey's best. Actually, with this paper I don't even need to do that, because this paper is just fine for writing over anyway, so you're going to be able to see any writing you do. And then you open it up and you've got your little surprise, and that's 4 more tags. So it's just a nice little tag, a nice little secret journaling spot, and it's very simple. It's quite quick. I mean, look, it's took us what, 20 minutes to do all told. You could sit down and make quite a few of these, and you can see by decorating them differently that, you know, they're like any kind of ephemera really. They're pretty versatile to put in anything that you want. So yeah, give them a go, because I quite like them. It's another good way of using your scrapbook card, that maybe, you know, you've got scraps lying around and they're about the right size and you're not sure what to do with them, but you don't want to throw them out. So make some of these and get this, go down to the grocery shop, to the supermarket, and buy yourself some waxed paper, some baking paper, or cookie paper, or whatever it is that it's called in your shop, and use it to make the insides, because it is quite sturdy, and it's you know, there's not going to be a huge amount of stress on it, and it looks quite pretty. It's got that translucent look when you open it up, that you can see the tags, and it's nice and thin, so that it's not going to add too much bulk. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. I'm going to sit and make some more of these, because I've got a whole box full of scraps. Honestly, I really do have a whole box full of scrapbook card and paper scraps that I just haven't found anything to do with yet, but now I have. So I'm going to go and make a few more of these. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Give it pop a like down if you enjoyed it, and drop a link, drop a comment and tell me what you think, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and stay safe, stay healthy, and happy crafting. Bye.